All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Beat the Cult podcast, where we fight harmful cult like religious thinking and practices. My name is Nikki, and I am so flattered to be joined today by Neil, the 604 Atheist, and Mikey Famine, who popped up last minute. And I was like, Mikey. So it's good to see both of you here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, usually you can find us together anyways on my show, so it's kind
That's
of
true.
like I can't shake the guy. He just follows me.
We are
Like
a
Siamese twins.
we are a bonded pair.
Inseparable, and that's a good thing. But I really want to thank both of you for joining me. It is my second podcast and the first time that I've gone live, and I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to kind of dip my feet into the pool and taking the risk of me embarrassing you. So that's awesome. Are you raising your hand
Awesome.
if we are in school, my
Yeah,
friend?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On your first episode, which I watched, it was good. You had one guest, and this is your second episode, and you have two guests.
Yes.
I want to know if on the fifth episode you will have 5 guests, and if this is like an escalation thing that we can all look forward to in the future.
Eventually,
there's little windows all across because you have like 90 guests.
Oh, 90. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to that.
Eventually,
I'm
eventually,
joking.
Neil, we will all be on her show at once. She will show 8,000,000,001. We'll have everybody in it.
In the world.
It'll bring us
We're not
together.
going to beat the cult. We're going to take over the cult.
That's right. We're going to start the cult.
Absorb the cult.
That's great. People on Twitter actually say I'm running a cult, and I'm just saying, well, where's the money and where's the women? I have none of those things. So this cult is a failure already.
You'll get flying cars in the year 2000. I've heard it all, man. I've heard it all.
Well, I am. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the dissenters on Twitter. And they always say I'm unwilling to have conversations. I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm not just on Twitter, but you guys are too. And kind of along those lines, if you don't mind, just kind of introducing yourself, starting with Neil. Just tell us who you are, how you got kind of into the atheist space, and why you're still in the atheist space. What do you hope to accomplish?
Oh, well, as you can see, my name is right here, Neil, the 604 Atheist.
Absolutely.
It's actually just Neil, the 604 Atheist part is a little thing because when I started my channel, I needed some kind of a name, right, to go on there and for Twitter and whatnot. And I thought, well, I need something that people are going to be like, what the hell's a 604 mean? So, which is actually the area code of one of the area codes of the province that I live in Canada. So.
Oh, you live in Canada. Why did I not know that? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell everyone.
Vancouver.
Vancouver
area. Yeah.
Oh, I've never been to
West
Canada.
Coast.
I'd love to go. West Coast. You can throw up the West Coast piece to the West Coast sign?
I have no idea what that is.
In Canada, that does not mean the same thing.
In Canada, he throws up a maple leaf and
that's how he signifies that you're on his turf.
A little glob of syrup just comes up.
Oh, God,
I have a maple leaf shaped syrup bottle. Does that count?
That would be cool. Is it glass? Because I love that already.
Yeah,
cool.
it is. It's a little glass one. It's
nice.
Totally from like a souvenir shop or something. So it's just.
I like it.
We already ate all the syrup, real syrup too, not the table syrup that they give you at like restaurants.
Oh, like the Aunt Jemima syrup, like not.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, no, and I do a little show on YouTube that I started back in 2018 after being inspired by people like Seth Andrews and stuff, who's had people on his show where they talk about how they found their way out of their religion.
Yes, that's
and that's what I do pretty much exclusively is I chat with folks about how they found their way free, their previous belief systems. And we've also had other folks on, like I had Matt Dillahunty on a while back, and he's like, I've told that story like a gazillion times, so let's talk about something else. I was like, yes,
he has.
Let's talk about building the community better, making it better, that kind of thing. So
right.
And I got to actually do the hang up with Matt.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get on Jimmy's shows as well. So that's a goal for me.
Yeah, just keep bugging him. He'll get you on there eventually. And this
Jimmy's
right
really cool. Jimmy's really
my
awesome.
Producer and co-host. So
yeah.
that's why he's here with us.
Yeah, awesome.
400 something episodes I've done, so closing
With
in on.
Mikey?
No, Mikey's about halfway through it, I
Yeah.
guess.
That's
so.
still impressive. That's like one hell of a relationship you guys have fostered. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And we always, to build the community, we always do after parties so that the guests, as you know, Nikki, you've been on.
That's true.
Can meet more folks, and that community can grow that way, and
Exactly.
to see just how strange and wonderful we all are.
Yeah, exactly. Fearfully and wonderfully made.
Two very good, specifically chosen words, Neil.
Right.
It's kind of true. I mean, I think we're all wonderful people for the most part, and we're all pretty strange in our own way, you know.
Right. Absolutely. So with that, well, thank you so much, Neil. And you, in your introduction, you did introduce Mikey. So Mikey, do you want to kind of follow up and add to Neil's introduction?
Well, when I'm not with Neil on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, kicking off back again in January, on Sundays we do D&D, and everybody's an atheist.
Oh.
On Wednesday, I have a politics show, 2 politics shows, and Thursday is my main podcast, the Bin Podcast. Oh, my hat's backwards. And then that usually wraps up the week. So you can always find me on the internet somewhere.
Okay.
You're always twitching too with gaming and stuff too. So.
Yeah, and I have my own Twitch channel, and
so cool.
And I lose at video games, and everybody makes fun of me. It's a good time. Come on down.
Well, at least you can play different video games.
I'm really good, and they're all haters. None of them will play with me. They'll only laugh at me from a distance. So
exactly.
So come
on. They would embarrass themselves. Well, you know what? I'll say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. At least you have the ability to play various games. I strictly play GTA 5, and I do not deviate at all. So that's all my channel would be.
Do you do online?
No, I sit in my house and blow shit up.
Right.
Just
but you can connect
incessantly.
You can't on what system?
Xbox.
You can just connect it to your Wi-Fi. Go play with some people. Go make some friends.
Yeah, I'm very hesitant to share.
Don't do it. It's
I probably won't.
That game is too realistic. I heard an 11-year-old jack a man, stole his car, beat him up, and he's just yelling in his face as he beats up his own friend. I'm like, this game is too realistic.
11 years old?
He must. His little voice was, "Hey, bitch, get out of the car." I'm like, what is this? My buddy was streaming. He got mugged by like a preteen. It was too bad. Don't play it.
I will. Yeah. Okay. So I'm already deterred from playing it anyway. So I'll just take your advice. But I am very curious. I didn't know you had pretty much 3 other podcasts. You said you did 2 political podcasts.
Yes, that's Speaking from the Center, which is part of the Bin Podcast Network,
Ooh,
and Dig on America, which is we start late. It's about 9:30 Central.
Speaking from the Center, and what was the other one?
Dig on America.
Those names are really awesome. Dig on America. Okay. I have a question about the name Speaking from the Center. Can you tell me about that? Because I have no idea what it means. But
that's the show that joined our network. They made their own name. I don't know the story behind Speaking from the Center.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think they had
imagine they're centrists.
But they're not. I think it was something there has to. I hope that there's another reason for it because none of them are in the center. None of them. So
where are they mostly?
Left leaning.
Okay, left leaning. Okay, not too far left, like a good representation.
What do you mean? What is too far left? Someone say you
well,
go left.
There's extremists in every demographic.
There are extremists. That's what I'm saying.
Eat all the money. Eat all the money.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Is Dig on America, is that your show?
Yep. I co-host that with a couple of guys. And the Bin Podcast that's the main mamma jamma. That's with me and my 3 international friends. And we cover the week's politics and pop culture and stuff.
That is so cool.
Yep.
All right. You're giving me some inspiration to branch out.
They have stickers too.
Doing this.
So.
Yeah, there you go.
Very cool. Okay, so you do this full time, and you're probably one of the happiest people in the world. because you don't go to office.
Yes, I'm supremely happy all the time.
Okay.
Especially with myself.
Lies.
Is that a true statement, or are you being facetious?
If I could spell it, I'd probably be it.
Okay.
Facetious.
Okay. So you're being facetious. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's very funny. So with that, okay, so you both are, despite your other interests, you are both prominent in the atheist community. You do a lot of work in the atheist community.
Oh, yeah, work hard.
Yeah. So Neil, so first of all, let me ask you, did you start off as an atheist? Were you raised in an atheist home? I wish I knew your story, but I don't.
Well, I'm an adoptee.
And
awesome. I've met my birth family, so they're Christians, or Catholics to be more specific.
My mom says Catholics aren't Christians, so definitely get it right there.
Sure. They follow Christ, so I don't know what else.
Do they though, or do they follow the Pope? Those sinners.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. If God is real, why does the Pope have a bulletproof car anyway? So
there you go. Good question.
But yeah,
blah,
I was born
to blood, wine, blah blah.
Right.
Yeah, I was born to them, and they were young. And in the Catholic tradition, you don't have kids outside of wedlock or whatever.
Right.
It is.
Okay.
So I was put up for adoption and raised in a Jewish home.
Okay. Oh,
so,
interesting.
Yes. So I was raised in a Jewish home.
Were they practicing Jews or?
Yeah. They observed all the stuff. Fairly Reformed Jew, I guess you could say. Reformed Jews.
Okay.
They weren't like overly religious. Like I think we went to synagogue every Friday night, for the Shabbat celebration and stuff like that. And I think for the most part, it was more of a just to see everyone.
Socializing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they believe in God?
Yeah, I think so. Even I was always kind of, my whole life I've been kind of like on the fence. Is this real? Is this not real? Because I couldn't believe the stories like in the book. Like how the fuck do you put every animal on the planet on a boat like that? Like
right. That was tough for me too.
Right. So, and I'd ask questions and get kicked out of Hebrew school all the time.
Inevitably. Right.
Spent a lot of time in the hallway. Let's put it that way.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I would, occasionally like pray or talk to God, I guess. But okay, help my friend. He's not well, or that kind of thing. Yeah. So I was always told you're not supposed to ask for things for yourself, although I did on occasion.
I mean,
make sure mom and dad get me that Lego set I want for Hanukkah.
Did he answer your prayer though?
No. Usually no.
Yeah,
I could have sworn he did once because I got the Ace Frehley solo album, the guy from band Kiss, which is the best of the 4 solo albums. So I got that one. I go, oh, maybe he is real. And
I was going to say, there's a God.
Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, we heard you talking about it. So we go, oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
Oh, well, that was God's way of communicating to them that you wanted the CD or the album. Yeah.
Poor baby.
Sure they overheard me.
Poor baby Neil was like, ha, empirical evidence. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, actually, along those lines, did you ever kind of make that jump to Christianity, or did you move straight from Judaism to atheism?
Yeah, well, no, I was pagan for a while, like Wiccan for a while.
Oh, okay.
I got into all that kind of stuff. I still have all the shit that I used to deal, like my tarot decks and all the spell books and stuff like that, and all the pagan history type stuff in the other room there. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a Thoth deck, which is Aleister Crowley's tarot deck.
Thoth? What is that?
Thoth was the Egyptian god of he's the bookkeeper, the record keeper, stuff like
Spell
that.
Thoth?
Thoth.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. Okay.
That's a bad name.
Yeah, right? I'm surprised you didn't reincarnate and change that.
Thoth, whatever it is. Thoth. It's almost like thought, but with an extra H.
Right. Okay. So were you actually performing spells or?
Yeah, I tried to. Sure, they didn't really work, of course.
Oh, so what was the intention behind the spells? Were you trying to get someone to fall in love with you or make some more money?
No, yeah, money was one of them. One time, I tried a spell where you have a ceramic bowl, you fill it halfway with water, and you put a silver coin into the water, and then catch the moon over the coin and chant some bullshit, and then it's supposed to improve your financial standing, which I guess it sort of did, because I had an ad in the paper to sell my VCR, and I actually sold it. So.
I'm sorry.
But I had the ad in the paper, so it wasn't the spell.
Empirical evidence.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that's so funny.
Because most people are like, "What's a VCR?"
Right. It's just made that little like addition makes that so funny. It's like you did a money spell and your VCR got sold. So that's so funny. I don't know why that cracks me up.
$75. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good for a VCR.
As you were describing the spell, I had like Mickey when he had like took the magician's hat. Like I just pictured a little Mickey just like trying to catch the moonlight in the coin, and like Pluto at his heels. Like, come on, you can do it. Like it was a very intense moment for me. I like that spell.
Hey,
I'm gonna try that.
Paul, Paul's, where you been hiding, you bastard? Doesn't like us
Paul.
Anymore.
I love it.
We showered, Paul. We showered.
I love it. We're getting a few more people in. That's great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Man, Neil, I'm blown away by the Wiccan spells, and not by like the concept of it, but I'm having difficulty seeing you putting spells together and casting spells and all of that. That's funny.
I used to have a wizard hat too, but it's long gone.
Like ironically?
No, it was just for like cosplay, I guess. We
dress
up a little bit more of the part. I guess we used to go to like some of those Renaissance type things.
Oh, like you weren't wearing it at like Walmart or something. You were wearing it in like an actual purposeful, contextual way.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you move from being Wiccan or pagan into atheism, or do you still practice some aspects of Wiccan or pagan?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not, because it's nonsensical. It's just, it's all wishful thinking, just like religion. It's just all wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I gave up on it after a while. I got into it because I started dating a girl that was a Wiccan. So
always, right?
Wrapped up in there, right? And she's going on about sex magic and stuff. I'm like, I'm down.
Oh, there's the sex spells. Okay, I was wondering where that was coming in, because it's usually sex and money, right? Like,
well, two biggest things, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I kind of I just somewhere in my late 30s, I think I was just like, I'm done with all this shit, and I was kind of atheistic anyways, because I didn't really believe in the goddesses and the gods, and I just thought they were tools you could use for whatever you wanted to try and do or whatever.
Right.
So I kind of moved away from that shit, and then I just didn't really do much. I just was me for forever. I'm a musician as well, so music took up a lot of time in my life, right? So
okay, cool.
And then eventually I started falling down the YouTube atheist rabbit hole. So and then I was like, you know what? I could do this. I want to do this because I want to make changes, because I see all the bullshit that's going on politically here and down in the US.
Right.
It's like it's going crazy. It's like these white Christian nationalist bastards.
Yeah.
Or just Christian nationalists in general.
Yeah, because my parents are
like
Christian nationalists.
Right? Yeah. And they're screaming and yelling because they realize they're losing their fucking privilege, and it's about time.
Yeah, it's just, and then it's really the privilege is being redistributed, and others are getting more of a voice, and it detracts from their privilege. So yeah, you're right.
Exactly. It makes them feel taking away all my fun, but I want to. I want to imprint, or not imprint, but I want to make you follow my rules, but I'm not going to follow yours.
Exactly.
Like Elon Musk, fuck's sakes.
Oh my God. What is Elon Musk? Is he a Christian, or I've never heard him mention religion?
No, I doubt it. He might call himself one, but I doubt he practices anything.
Has he done that before?
I don't know.
Okay. I could not picture him. Okay. So now you're
on about forcing, people are being forced to use pronouns. Nobody's forcing anybody, you fucking jackass. If you aren't, human enough just to accept someone's pronouns, then go fuck yourself. That's all I can do.
That's interesting. I didn't know that he had any type of opinion on that issue.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Elon's one of ours.
Oh, he's an atheist? That makes more sense. He's kind of heavy into science. I could see him as a Scientologist too, Polly. That makes sense. Oh, yeah. But Tom Cruise is the king Scientologist, so there's no room at the top there. But
I don't think Musk is a Scientologist.
No, he's not. I think Polly was joking.
If I remember correctly, I've heard him talk about them being a little wacky, so I'm pretty sure he's not a Scientologist.
Well, we would agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you moved out of paganism. You moved into the atheist community, and you've been in for quite some time. So I do wonder, for those who have been in the atheist community, doing interviews and interacting with people for quite some time, like, what about the community do you wish would change, or what do you not like about the representation?
Well, it's just kind of it's a tough question because I'm a moderator on many most of the ACA shows and stuff like that, plus the Line and stuff, all the shows that they run.
Sure.
So and just some of the comments I see from atheists in the chat, where all they want to do is just throw bullshit, like just smack down stuff. It's like, guys, you don't have to call them stupid, you don't have to call them delusional, you don't have to call them, let's try and clean up our side a little bit here.
Mental illness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and mental illness is common.
Talk to them. Let's talk to them about why they believe it, and maybe we can figure out. Maybe we can help them understand that may not necessarily be as real or true as you think it is. So
exactly,
molecular epistemology stands from it, but there's a lot of really toxic fucking atheists out there in these chats that I see.
There are. Yeah, they misrepresent.
We got to work on that.
And do you feel it's getting any better, or?
It seems to be getting worse these days.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we're moving in the wrong direction. That's not good.
And it's like they dropped the supernatural beliefs, but then they kept the same fervent tribalism that their religion forced upon them. It's like we don't need no Southern Baptist atheists running around, like chasing people down and yelling and screaming at them. Like that's what the other side does. You're supposed to be better than that. But people take their own paths to overcome the hurdles in front of them. And a lot of people calm down after a little bit. And it's not that angry atheist thing. It's just like a recent, I'm going to mock people of any faith system as if I wasn't one 6 months ago.
6 months, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's usually the new representatives of atheism that have those ideals, it seems.
Or even if go ahead, Neil.
They watch a lot of these call-in shows where you get a lot of the hosts that just kind of rip into the callers.
Yes, I saw that today, actually.
So they want to emulate that in the chat and stuff. Well, fuck this and get your fucking facts straight and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, these guys know what they're doing, and they do tie that up at the end of the show, so
right?
They don't come across as complete jackasses. So
yeah,
you're looking like the jackass in the chat right now, and I'm going to start fucking muting some of these bastards.
Yeah, and I was listening to one of the shows today, and I was like thinking, wow, they're going after them, and but that's in some instances I think that's beneficial. Of course, there is a flip side of maybe deterring people from wanting to speak with you, or just providing a negative depiction of the atheist community in general.
Most of the time, I think if the caller's being toxic already, that's usually when that stuff comes from the hosts of the shows too. Is the return of the toxicity to the caller.
Oh, sure. And the caller was like being very disrespectful and yelling, and the interaction wasn't positive, but it wasn't good for anybody really.
You get some really good hosts though that know how to talk to people. Like I was watching a little earlier, Forrest Valkai and Gutsick Gibbon were talking to, on one of the line shows. We're talking to people about, why evolution is real, and here's how we can tell you that, and here's how we can show that to you.
Sure.
And they're back and forth with their callers was pretty low key. Like it wasn't. The callers weren't even going, wow, that's fucking bullshit. And, so they had some good rapport going on there. And I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see that being the examples of what we are trying to do, is dispel the myths that these folks, were tricked into believing, let's say.
Right.
Or indoctrinated into believing that none of that was real and the holy books are the truth. But, we can literally demonstrate that they're not truthful. Like there's evidence against some of the stuff that's being claimed in these books. So, and to learn how to bring that out, to show them in a respectful way, rather than, this is what it is and shove it down their throat kind of thing. It's, we got to get better at doing that kind of thing, I think.
I agree. What has been the most, I guess, abrasive or difficult call that you've taken over? I mean, you've been doing it for quite some time. So I'll say maybe within the past year, what's been the most difficult or aggressive call that you've taken?
There hasn't really been one that I can think of. I think the one of the ones I had was somebody was trying to say there was this drug, I think it was DMT or something, that takes you to another plane of existence. I'm like, no, dude, it doesn't.
You're hallucinating, bro.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, that's all going on in here. There's no, if you want to call inside your head another plane of existence, great. That's fine.
Right.
That's what you want to call it. That's great. But you're not going anywhere. Like people talking about out of body experiences and stuff too. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're not.
No.
Your soul can't leave your body.
There is no soul.
I don't think we exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I mean,
that's interesting, because
consciousness, we'll call it, requires a mind, so it can't.
It does a brain. Yeah, exactly. It's going to deteriorate with every other part of your body upon death.
Yeah, that's right.
It's interesting, and you just kind of going back to your childhood of being in the Jewish community, and kind of what's going on in our culture today regarding religion and in pop culture generally. When we touched on this a bit pre-show, the issues with Kanye West and the things that he's been saying about the Jewish community. What are have you guys heard about that? Or,
yeah, he's an anti-Semitic piece of shit is what he is.
Exactly. So how do you think that's affecting the interactions between the Jewish and Christian community and the non-believer community?
I think, honestly, I think he's got a small following. And I think most of the two communities, or any of the religious communities, are pretty much against what he says. They pretty much are going to be like, yeah, this guy does not represent us in any way, shape, or form. So I think he's got a small following that want to be excruciatingly loud. And
like most
they
groups.
Are. Right. But yeah, the guy's just going to disappear. I mean, he was
really Kanye West.
I think he's just going to fade into the fucking background sometime.
Mikey, what do you think about that?
Well, he's definitely not on an upward trajectory. That's for sure.
Yeah, that I feel like he's doing enough to garner more attention than previously, and even if it's negative attention, more people are paying attention. No, yeah, I said that enough. But
and I guess he's prescribed to being a Black Hebrew Israelite. Hey,
but then says Semitic things
because he doesn't feel they're Semitic, because he feels like he is Semitic.
Yeah, like a Black person using the N-word.
Right.
Kind of.
I guess. So whatever. I mean, bro, you're from Chicago. Or you're from Texas and y'all moved to Chicago.
Right.
You ain't got no Semite.
No Semite.
No Yosemite Sam. Nah, son.
No Yosemite Sam. That's funny.
But that's, hey, if you want to torch your career, I don't care. You're rich anyway. You're rich anyway. I mean, you're on your own, dude. But everybody of repute has tried to correct Kanye. but he's not well. Like I don't know if people. I know a lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people like saw him earlier and kind of know his backstory.
Yeah,
he kind of had a edge to him, but this is not an edge. He's not well, and instead of everybody like, let's post into the
fucking vitriolic behavior is what it is.
Take a moment and realize that this person is not well, man. Like they're not good, and he doesn't have anybody around him to tell him he's not good and to get him where he needs to be. So the more we laugh at him, the more
I'm
we're
not laughing at him.
You know what I mean? Like at this point, it's kind of a couple of comments, yeah, but now it's like embarrassing. Now it's like past the part of funny. It's more sad than anything. And back on the other thing with the toxicity in the atheist community towards not believers still. If our goal is to help people to see the world as it actually is, and not with supernatural stuff to help them when they can't find them car keys.
Right.
We're not the way we approach that. You have to remember that could be mentally jarring for them. That can be emotionally jarring for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And people have trauma. Like people have given up there. Like once once dominoes start falling, and they're like, I never went to college for them. Like I had great grades and I threw away a career for this.
Yeah.
My family's
doing this thing.
Yeah. So we have to be like, people have baggage, and we have to take them and their baggage. We can't just, oh nope, just you, and just snap that cord for them. You give them whiplash, and then they, you know what I mean, and then
definitely
they look resentful.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely you have to let these folks know, because not a lot of them do understand or know that there is recovering from religion.
Yes, that's a great organization.
A fantastic organization.
Yeah.
That anytime there's a fundraiser for them, I'm there right away and doing stuff for them for sure.
Good.
I've been involved in a few already, so
they're excellent. When I was when I was initially getting involved, like about 8 years ago, and I fell off, after that, I was involved with them a little more, and I want to get back to being involved with them again, because I was, Mikey, you said something interesting about people who have lived their lives in that mindset, and it is a shock to them when they leave. And I want to follow up with that with a question for you. You are a Black atheist, and that is like, very, very rare in our community. And I kind of want to ask you the same questions I asked Neil. Did you start off as an atheist?
No.
Yeah.
I'm a preacher's kid.
Oh, so you're a real sinner then. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What denomination?
I think they were CME.
CME.
It's some interconference something Baptist.
Okay, I was gonna say, what is that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure they're sinners no matter what, because they're not evangelicals.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, but them more than anything, because they're following the wrong path to Christ. So
right.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Tell me more about why you did not follow in your father's footsteps. Maybe around the age you started questioning.
Oh, he dipped.
What do you mean?
He's gone. I haven't seen him since I was 3.
No.
He went and started a new life with another lady in the church.
Oh boy.
Well, praise Jesus.
Hey, so it's me and the moms, right, and my sisters. So we would still go to church, and it was, I don't know, we wouldn't go all the time, but
interesting.
Like it would be one of those things like, let me just sleep in on this Sunday, and then she kicks the door open. Why aren't you getting ready for church? Like, I didn't know he was going this week. Like, what you talking about? We didn't go last week. I figured we wasn't going no more.
Okay.
Nah,
so she wasn't very religious.
She's very pious. Like my mom, she's very severe.
How do you mean severe?
Yeses are yeses and noes are noes, and rules are rules, and it's very strict.
How do you, like, what yeses are yeses? Because that differs based on denomination and person.
So if you have to ask if you can watch a TV show, the answer is probably no.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
Yeah. So
What is
like,
her
so
ideas?
there was no like gangster rap wasn't allowed in the house.
Oh no, not at all. No.
I would listen anyway on the radio at a friend's house. And I heard it all.
Aha! Take that, Mom.
Exactly.
But some stuff was cool. Like MJ was cool. Like Will Smith was cool. Like there was like Disney stuff was cool, but we couldn't. None of that.
Like Hannah Montana.
How old do you think I am?
I don't know.
Hannah Montana came out. I was in high school. I think I was a junior or senior when that came out.
Really?
My
I thought you were like
were
in
all
your
over
20s.
Hannah Montana.
No, I'm 35.
Oh, you don't look 35.
You know what they say.
I was gonna say.
You know what
they say. So funny.
True what they say.
Yeah, for most.
Who the hell are they?
Neil, that is a question Black folks have been asking for thousands of years.
Right.
I just picture this like room with the sign on it says they, and you open the door and there's a bunch of people with phones going, say this,
right.
Say this.
It's like a switchboard, like the old time operator just plugging the wires.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Okay, so all right. So obviously,
I could only good Christian stuff. Like I remember when VeggieTales dropped. That was cool.
My gosh, Bob
Bob
the tomato. He was cold.
Let me tell you something. There wasn't a lot of cool Christian cartoons. What was it like?
Well, Bible Man.
Or what was that?
I never heard of Bible Man until I became an atheist.
I can't remember the one. Superbook. Yo, wasn't nobody trying to watch Superbook? Give me the VeggieTales. They singing.
Oh, really?
Give me the asparagus dude.
Yeah, what was it? The asparagus. Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
That. Oh man.
So
I remember that.
So that kind of stuff was cool, but like,
right.
So there's been a lot, like all the blaxploitation films. Yeah, that wasn't happening in this house.
Oh no.
So she was so pious that we can't. No, you're not watching Shaft. What are you, crazy? No, we'll never watch that. Yeah.
My mom would sing the song, but we weren't allowed to watch it.
Man, Shaft was badass.
I know.
Exactly.
Sinner, so.
They used to mute in Ninja Turtles. They used to mute when Raphael lost his side because he lost that fight. Or no, he lost that fight to Casey Jones. And then like he goes, damn. And then like it like backs up. They used to mute that.
Really? I didn't even know they cursed in them.
That's like Ninja Turtles. Only word is damn. And they used to.
That's a children's show. They shouldn't even say that.
It's damn is fine.
Yeah.
It is. But not
they're gonna curse.
The Turtles started out in the comics and they were not for kids.
Absolutely not.
Well, sure. That's how it typically goes.
Dark. It was bloody.
I didn't know that was a comic.
Oh yeah.
Dope.
I had the original first printings of the original comics came out. They were black and white.
Oh.
And I had the first 7, I think, issues.
That's so
just
cool.
after the introduction of Casey Jones, actually. And well, all my comics are now with my cousin who collects as well, as I got tired of lugging the fucking boxes of them around. So
I understand. Totally.
So if you ever sell them, just give me 25% of the take and I'm good.
Oh, 25. I would take 50-50. What? You are generous.
60-40.
Yeah, that's even at the least.
You're getting 40% of my sales for nothing.
I figure that's 25% is going to be close to and maybe a touch bit of profit on the original prices I paid for them. So I wasn't really looking to make a huge profit off of it. So,
well, you're very generous.
My nature.
Okay. Well, Mikey, how did you, I'm actually very curious, being a Black man, how did you get out of religion? What inspired you?
Black, y'all.
It's debate. Yeah. I've been, I'm told regularly
and that's a big part of it, right? Is because atheism is for white people.
It is. It's actually for white men specifically.
That's some white people shit.
Yeah, but it's white men specifically, not even white women. Really.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's a privileged position, and I wish I was raised in that privilege to have that education. And it's definitely different.
Try to use it to help others whenever I can. So
And that's, yeah, and I don't mean that in a condescending way at all.
Oh, no, I get it. Oh, I get it.
It's an art. I mean, I posted that tweet today about the guy who had that verse on the back of his car, and just kind of how we are with the constant dependence on God, and just kind of a general, I guess, lack of self-confidence in our abilities. Right. But Mikey, what age did you start questioning? How did you get out of that?
I didn't have to go to church anymore when I got a job.
Like at 14, 15?
Yeah, I was 14 or 15.
Okay, so your mom had to sign a release, though.
It was an earlier day, so I don't remember.
So child labor?
What you mean child labor? I got paid. I think, and you know what? When they went up to the minimum wage, went up to $5 an hour, baby. I was like, ha ha! I'm balling now.
So
who's got the big bucks?
So working Sunday doesn't necessarily translate to becoming an atheist, though.
But I didn't have to go anymore.
That doesn't mean you're not that you don't believe in God, though.
I mean, I didn't have to go anymore. I didn't like going. It was boring. Like, I didn't like them. Like, our music people sucked. They weren't great. The little food afterwards was trash. And I was just like, man, I could be a Baskin Robbins right now making myself a 2-scoop sundae. But here I am. Like, it was so inconvenient to be in the building, because I was like, the beliefs are whatever they are. Because as soon as I started, when they found that Australopithecus, I don't know what the name of those, like
Australopithecus.
Yeah, Lucy or whatever.
Australopithecine, yeah.
And they found Lucy, and then like they had the special on Discovery, and it was like a big thing that like they blocked out like 2 hours or something like that. And I'm eating all this up because I've always been like the science kid. Like, I've always loved animals and space and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh shit. Real human dinosaurs. Here we go.
Real human dinosaurs.
So
Minosaurus Rex.
That's so funny. That was genius.
Well, I don't know about. Let's not overplay me.
Actually, I thought that was very, very, very genius. So
I must use the pinky out now.
There you go.
So then, like, my stepdad is kind of like, under his breath about it. I was like, whatever. I'm a kid. I'm loving this shit.
Okay.
And then they found they did another one for the T-Rex. Remember, they found like the most complete T-Rex ever, and they did a Discovery Channel thing, and I was right there. I was like, Dad, this thing is from. They said it was 45 million years. It was like,
oh no, older than that.
Well, what you know what I'm saying, or whatever the number is that I told him, and he was like, "Does it say that in the Bible?"
Yep.
No.
In your response,
and I'm just like, I just kind of gave him like a, "You think this is real?" Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, okay. I thought we were all just kind of doing this. Let's all pray to God now. And I was like, all right, let's all pray to God now. Like in The Mummy, when your boy pretended to be the Emotep zombie just so he didn't get caught. I was like, oh, Emotep.
Right.
Let's just go ahead with this then.
Emotep. I remember that.
He turned right around.
No, Ollie. Sorry, Ollie wants to know if my phone is on. I think he misses doing his little
coins,
his little haiku thingy.
So, there's this guy on Twitter who keeps writing me haikus. So you didn't believe in God before?
I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought everyone was just pretending together, and I said, okay,
all right.
We go to pretend land, because I guess there is.
Land.
People pretend shit out, like a lot of shit doesn't make sense to me. Like
pretend about Santa, pretend about the Easter Bunny.
You make everything else up, so I just figured it all was fake.
Right. Yeah. What does your family feel about that? Did your parents know you're atheist?
Yeah, my mom says, "No, you're not. Don't say that." I say, "Yes, I am. Don't tell me what to do."
That's so funny.
You're not the boss anymore.
At 35, I mean, you're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me.
Is your wife an atheist too?
I don't think so, but it never really comes up. Like,
Okay.
she is a good person.
Oh.
So she's
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
She's what?
Wife's awesome.
Oh, she's awesome. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's never once wanted to pray about anything. We've never talked about praying. She's never asked me to go to church with her.
She goes to church?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I also never heard her say, I don't believe this and I don't believe that, because she's good. She's good people. And that's all that's really important to me. So
yeah,
okay.
That's right.
She's exactly like I was, but she doesn't want to throw that label on there, probably because atheists have a bad name right now because everybody's so mean to everybody.
That's true. We've always had a bad name.
Thanks, Silverman.
Thanks for nothing.
Oh, mon Dieu. I had quite a lengthy conversation. So I actually met another Black female atheist, actually 2 yesterday at a brunch. One of my good friends she's an atheist. Well, she won't admit it, but she's an agnostic. And I was very surprised to meet 2 other Black women. And one of them was very involved in the community and told me some interesting stories. And I don't want to get into it because it's, gossip, but actually it's not gossip. It's well known.
Girl, you better spill that tea.
No. I need people to like me. I need people to like me. There are people I want to work with. I don't want them.
They'll get over it.
No, they won't. I have to build relationships. That's not going to work. You get one shot.
That's not true. Do not miss your chance.
I mean, I won't say why I feel that way, but yes, you did get one shot. But yeah, so I do have one follow-up question. If you and your wife have children, how would you, what kind of values would you instill? Would religion come into it for her?
Baconism.
I
like that religion. I might be a theist.
Oh, shit. I am a theist.
Damn it.
But our little one is due.
Oh, you have a baby. You have an impending baby.
Yes, baby loading.
Baby loading.
We're downloading the blueprint right now.
Wow.
Takes a while.
So
she's pregnant right now.
She's carrying. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She has a bump. She has a bump, and it's very cute, and she hates it. And I think it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yo, I hope you do. I think
it's so fucking cute. She hates it.
So the baby's due in March, and what have you guys agreed on regarding parenting? On this topic, not generally, but
I told her
after midnight.
Don't get them wet. I just told her I was like, I'm not lying to the kid. Like, if we want to do some. Because I already stopped doing Christmas a long time. I stopped doing that when I was 20.
No. Okay.
You can still do it for the get together.
I have other reasons why. Atheism just happened to align with it. I hear that. But the way because we don't do anniversary gifts for each other and stuff like that. I've had a couple of near life experiences, so every day I get with her is my fucking favorite day.
Near life or near death?
Exactly. And it was so I treasure all of those things. So whenever we have a moment, whenever we have the time, whenever we have the money, we do. We don't wait, we do. And we make sure so Christmas comes around. What the hell could we even want? We don't want anything. She likes to watch the movies. I got her a tree last year. The pine needles are still in the carpet, and you find them in the middle of the night. They're dried to be as sharp as syringes. And so she has her cocoa and her stuff. So she likes the festivities and stuff like that. And I'm sure her and the kid will be doing that together because kids love everything.
But you participate too, right? Just for familial interaction.
We can, if she wants to do presents and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do the whole caper. If we're gonna do anything, we can go volunteer. We can go be good people.
Yeah.
I usually and I'll do it this year too on my stream. I stream all throughout Christmas.
Okay.
So if people don't have anywhere to go, and they're all by themselves. They don't have to be by themselves. They can come hang out on my stream and bother me and laugh at me getting shot in the back 50 times because my teammates are garbage.
Right. So you mentioned near death. Oh, go ahead, Neil.
That's okay. Mike is near life because he's dead inside. So every time he has near life experiences, right?
I'm already dead.
And his wife is the one that always brings him to those near life experiences.
Okay. So,
and I think we have a believer in the chat too that says, "Oh my God, this podcast is like watching paint dry." Like, go do something else.
Yeah,
you don't have to watch it.
If only there was another channel to go to. Only there was one other thing for that person to watch.
I know, just one other thing to do. But I'm curious about these. I'm curious about these near-death experiences. What have you mentioned? You said one or more than one, basically.
Whether it's been like in the car or like something medical, like just kind of those. Ooh, that was very close.
What specific example?
I've got a few of those.
I'm not telling you all my business, girl. I'm public. I can't be.
You brought it up. I'm so curious now. You share at least one, just one.
I mean, almost dying on the highway, like that's.
Me too.
That's triggering. Like getting in car accidents, like that's triggering.
Yeah,
so like those I almost died just then kind of moments, and then you're all shook up for the rest of the day. And then that next morning, let me get my ass up so I can get in the shower. Like you kind of have like an extra sense of purpose. And it shouldn't take moments like that to motivate us to do everything that we need to do.
Sure. Absolutely. Do either of you, like Neil, you said you still question, I'm assuming still on the fence just because you're open to changing your mind about religion or God belief?
Oh hell no! I'm not on the fence about anything. Okay. I actually call myself, though I am an atheist, I don't call myself an agnostic. I think agnosticism is just the cowardly atheists that don't want to say they're atheists.
I agree with that.
I'm an atheist. I believe that the idea of the question of the existence of God is meaningless because the word is the word
fantasy,
has
it doesn't really.
It's non-coherent and unambiguous. So
right,
like until you define what God is, then I don't want to talk about it.
What do you feel about?
Everyone's got their own definition, so who cares?
Right.
Right. And I was going to follow up with that. Like typically, in you being on different shows, I'm sure I've heard this, like Aquinas's and Anselm's definitions of God. Those would be argued to be meaningful, at least to most of the world. And I mean, not necessarily ambiguous. Right. That's
just
true.
Just another position. That's all it is. Right.
That's true. So. And I hate asking this question because this is always what, I like to ask atheist questions that Christians give me all the time. Maybe not the belief of the monotheistic God, but is there anything that could occur? And I'm going to be kind of devil's advocate. Is there anything that could occur that may get you to consider the existence of any type of God?
It would have to be something really spectacular. I mean, it would have to be something that I would either see or whatever. And I would be like, oh, okay, there is no denying this, but that's not likely to happen.
No, it's not.
Right? It's just not likely to happen. It hasn't yet throughout human history, and we've been around for a long time.
Quite some time.
I'm kind of like, why did it take them so long to drop into the Middle East of all fucking places?
Of all
tell
places.
the world that he's here, right?
Right.
Like, what about the rest of the world?
He should have picked Madagascar. Them Romans would have never got him.
So, Mikey, what about you? Maybe not the Christian God that you were raised on.
Now.
I was just thinking that as soon as you said that.
The Bumafu with a yarmulke.
Oh God, that shows that's Madagascar. Yeah, that movie is very funny.
Madagascar is great.
So, Mikey, what about you? Tell me what, like, maybe not the Christian God, because that's a very specific and mostly falsifiable up to, of course, the more nebulous traits, but mostly falsifiable claim. What about like a, maybe not deistic, but maybe an animistic or any type of other?
Animism is interesting.
Yeah, animism is interesting.
What is animism?
So animism is basically the manifestation of the supernatural through nature. like trees, water,
grounding is part of that, I believe.
Like
yes, yeah. Maybe if there was a definitive way to interpret that a deity was expressing itself through the trees, through
like Gaia.
Yeah,
kind of like Gaia, that kind of thing. A lot of the First Nations peoples have similar type ideas as well, spiritualistically and stuff like that, right? So
yeah,
I think that stuff's cool.
Really cool mythologies, actually.
Yeah,
it is very cool.
like the stories on it. Yeah, but
what if like, could you ever believe, or maybe not could you ever, but is that something that could maybe?
Well, I did see a documentary this one time called Moana, and I definitely saw
I'm not doing that right now.
Photographic evidence
I'm not doing
of the Earth Mother.
Right.
That is hilarious. That is so funny. The Earth Mother, I thought it was like the Ocean Mother.
You know, I was a little high when I watched it. That's a good thing about being old. You get to go back on Disney Plus and watch all of them like movies that came out in your 20s that you were too cool for. Man, these movies are great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I watched a bunch of old like throwbacks when I got the Disney Plus free trial, and then shut it off after a week.
Ratatouille. Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, it's a great one.
That was hilarious.
Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss. All
right. I watch all my old favorites, like the Aristocats and Robin Hood, like the old Robin Hood. The Black Cauldron, which they actually finally put on Disney Plus now.
Oh
yeah.
Mulan is the best Disney movie ever made. So
Mulan, that's good.
Anything with women killing things, I love it. Or fighting. I love that. Because we never get credited for that. We're always the ones sitting at home, and I'm like, no, I want to go out and fight.
More so coming out now, for sure. More so these days.
I just covered this on an episode of Dig on America. If you guys want to run back and look at it, it was about Bruce Lee and Kung Fu, because his 82nd birthday would have just passed, and you should go watch old Kung Fu movies, because they started off in like the 60s and 70s with female protagonist leads that weren't naked, that were like super crazy fighters of a very specific type, and
lots of them like that.
And that bleeds into anime. So there's tons, and actually I don't even know where I put it.
A lot of anime has women protagonists.
Oh,
They have for centuries. Like that's their way there. It's like women aren't treated the same way as they are here in the Western world. They're very prominent, and they're of course you've got the kind of double standard, because you've also got geisha girls who weren't treated very well either, right? And stuff like that. But you do have a lot of very powerful women in a lot of their lore and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. My favorite anime is well, maybe not my favorite anime, but my favorite anime character is from Akame ga Kill, and that's Esdeath, and she is the epitome of what I believe. Well, women, we weren't usually this way because we are really charged with being more nurturing. And these aren't really traits that have served us, of being aggressive. But she's excellent. And like the whole kill or be killed, I'm taking everything you've got, or, you can follow me or I'll kill you type of, I love that energy. So she's great. Mikey, you good?
Yeah.
I think he's trying to find something.
So
you
this
have
was
a Akame ga Kill, or
no, this was on
Morbido. Okay.
So this
is a good one.
I bought this on DVD because I couldn't find it online anywhere. If you can get your hands on it, watch it. It had like a 1 or 2 runs on Adult Swim, like late at night. No one's ever heard of it again.
Tsunami.
It is the sickest female-driven anime I've ever seen. It is dope.
Morbido. Oh, that pen doesn't work. Okay. I have another one. Morbido. Okay. I will write that down because I love stuff like that. Need to find time.
Well, what am I supposed to watch out? That wordcast says, whoa, watch out, Neil. When am I supposed to watch out?
Well, I always try to keep the podcast under an hour, or right at an hour. So I wanted to thank you both for joining me and just kind of wrap it up and move towards closing. But I wanted to ask you both to please reiterate where we could find you, all the podcasts and different sites that you're on. We started with Neil first. We'll start with Mikey.
Solo.to/Mikey Famine, and that will link you to, it'll give you a little sheet of all 6 or 7 things that I have. So for my SoundCloud, for my music, my Twitch, all the politics shows, D&D, sure. Neil's on there, like everything's there. Solo.to/Mikey Famine.
Okay. And I will do a better job of including information in if you could like tweet that to me. Yeah, I know, right? I thought about that. I was like, do I include it after? I'll figure it out. But it will eventually be added where you can find both of these gentlemen.
I'll just give you my link tree because that's the easiest way to do it, I think.
Oh, cool. Yeah, just send that. Yeah, send that stuff over.
But I don't have my Counter Social on there. I'm on Counter Social. I'm on Mastodon now because I'm slowly but surely going to be getting the fuck off of Twitter.
Oh man!
But I am on Twitter, and Twitter does have my link tree there. So, and it's just at 604 Atheist on Twitter. There, you can find me there.
Okay. We need to have a whole episode on how to use Mastodon. So.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Well, Counter Social and Mastodon are the same they're same format type thing. So they're both.
Well, I meant from Twitter.
Interlinked now. Oh yeah.
Okay. A little different. I gave up after 24 hours. But
so basically, if you do have a story that you'd like to share, I'm open. I'm now open for booking January.
Oh, great.
So
I went on a show. Neil's great. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Mikey too. It was just Neil was the one who was cool. Like,
I got it. No, I got it.
Mikey's great too, but I met Mikey after the fact. But Neil, of course, Neil reached out. And if you do have a story, I also let me know too. So I definitely want to have as many deconversion stories as possible. And next week, thank you, Neil, for giving me information, Mikey too, and I will update that. Next week, I want to give a little bit of foreshadowing. I will be having Miss Arden Hart on the podcast, and I'm so freaking I was like, when she was like, yes, I will go on, I was like, Arden. So I love great. Arden. Jeez. She has my heart. But yeah, Arden's
I rolled
awesome.
Dice with Arden.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She played D&D with us.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I wanted to, I told her I wanted to get her story about, being trans in the atheist community and some of those benefits and limitations. So we're going to be talking about that. And then the week after that, I'm having Damien on. And the week after that, I'm having, yep. I love Damien. People. Yeah, Damien's great. I'm actually going on his podcast again. I think
he's never had me on, the bastard.
See, Neil?
He's really cool. Damien's great.
Oh yeah,
always the bridesmaid, never a bride.
It's probably because I don't wear white.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys. You guys are great.
Just jealous because Neil's got better legs. You should wear that dress.
Don't wear that dress. Well, thank you both, Neil and Mikey, for being on the show.
Pleasure.
Thank you all thank you guys for watching. You can find me on Twitter at Beat the Cult. I am slowly moving to Mastodon, but not really. I will probably have to rebuild my following again, which I don't mind it. I like the challenge. But I'm also on Instagram at Beat the Cult. Yeah, I'm also on Instagram at Beat the Cult as well. And also you can find me obviously on YouTube at Beat the Cult. So thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out for next week's show, and I will see you all then.
Be kind to one another.
Yes, be kind. Be nice. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Of course. All right. Bye, guys. All right.